We are live. Welcome everyone to Liquidation Motivation. Here's a channel where we talk about buying and selling online, or if you have your own bin store, if you're gonna want to create a liquidation store. I am Esteban. I am in charge of Tom's eBay store for Resale America. And today we have John from Flippin Ain't Easy. He is another expert on eBay selling, and he approaches it in a different way than I do. And we also have Stan the Man down, but there he is, down below. He is going to be joining us in our conversation. Feel free to jump in anytime, Stanley, while you play with your gadgets. John, would you like to introduce yourself to Liquidation Motivations audience?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller from Flippin Ain't Easy, and I make YouTube videos. I'm a full-time eBay reseller, but I make YouTube videos to help other sellers in this crazy journey of reselling, and I try to help answer questions based on my research, my experience, and I think that's why they invited me here today.
Yes, we did. Hello, good morning, Harry Briggs, and good morning to everyone else in the chat that have joined us. I wanted to talk today about the multiple ways on selling on eBay, and the reason why I want to have this conversation is for two things. One, I'm going to go on a rant for a little while, so just bear with me, John.
Go ahead.
So one, I made a stupid joke, and the last time we spoke via text message, and I said, "My way is better than your way," but I was obviously joking, because I had responded to an opinion of yours on your channel in regards to it doesn't matter. We'll go into that later, but. Actually, let me just tell the audience because I don't want to keep them in suspense. So you said in your channel that it's not a good idea for sellers to use dumb words or words that are irrelevant to a buyer in the title.
Right.
And I totally agree with you. I think like putting VTG for vintage or NWT for new tags, that's lost real estate. That is a place where you can utilize to add features.
Correct.
All right. However, the one thing that I do differently than you do is you only put your SKU or your inventory number in the eBay. What do you call it? The label, the SKU for eBay.
Custom label, right.
Custom label, yes.
One that you only see, the buyer doesn't see it.
That's correct.
Right.
But for us, we utilize the last 5 characters to include the inventory number. And we do this for a few reasons, and the reason why we do it is because, let's say that you have 2 MacBooks. Let's just say,
right,
you have 2 brand new MacBooks in a box, and you sold one.
Okay.
The customer decides to return it. You get it back.
Okay.
Now, that new MacBook is no longer new. It's now a used MacBook, and it needs to have its own inventory number. It needs to have its own listing, because it's under a different condition.
Okay.
The other reason why is because I sell a lot of clothing in my store, and so, for example, a Tommy Hilfiger plaid. Let's say it's Tommy Hilfiger red plaid shirt. Mm-hmm. Now the lines might go one way on one shirt, and then it might go in a different way on a different shirt. So it's definitely 2 different SKUs.
Okay.
So we need to create 2 different listings, and because eBay doesn't allow us to create two listings with the same title, it's best to include that inventory number at the very end to make it a unique title. Yes, I know that we could flip, the color red and then say red shirt rather than shirt red. We could do that and make the listing unique.
Yes.
However, when we because we have thousands of listings, it's easier for me to sort by, let's say, name, and then I will see all the Tommy Hilfiger shirts. Then I will see all the gender. Then I will see it'll show up in a specific order.
Right.
Good morning, Jenna. Thanks for joining us. So we're talking about eBay.
Okay.
So you had your opinion about that, and again, you just took John out. Did John just drop?
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he left.
He's back.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, knocked me out. Okay, so I have my opinion on. Sorry.
Yeah, you had your opinion about the titles.
Yes.
But you do it a different way than I do. Is your way better than mine?
I'll say in a short answer, no, it's not better because it works for you. See, so if you have a system in place that works for you, you should continue utilizing whatever that is.
Yeah.
For me, I will, if I have two of the same item, maybe let's say different condition, I will change the title around. I'll move keywords around. I'll keep my first 5 or 6 important keywords in place. It'll be the last like 5 or 6 words in that title that I move around, or maybe change, because a lot of times you're using features of that item in your title. So I'll maybe change that wording around there. But the idea of, you only get 80 characters. So the idea of wasting that space for inventory management, it doesn't benefit the customer at all. And I see it on a lot of listings, because when you do sell similar, a lot of times you have to go in and remove that inventory code they have on the back of their listing. What I do though is I will, let's say I have mine in shelf 14. Let's say this particular item, right? Let's say I have replenishables of that item in new condition. Let's say I come across another batch of that same item, and now I find that these are now in used condition. I will then take a totally different, let's say, area like rack 20 or whatever, and I will put all of those on 20 in my SKU. So I will never run the risk of, when I'm going to pick my item to ship, I'll never run the risk of, oh, I grabbed the used one rather than the new one, because I have them in totally different locations. If I'm following my system, my SKU number, I won't even see the new one if I'm looking for the used one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I have mine. It doesn't cause any kind of customer confusion. I mean, I don't know how that would, but I want to utilize all 80 characters for anything that buyer might put into search to find my item.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was also thinking about inventory systems. Like,
yes,
you have a different inventory system as I, and the same inventory system you had is the one that I had in my home.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing you do, where I had, let's say, a Tommy Hilfiger large versus a small in 2 separate bins. So this way I'm not grabbing the large, or
Right.
I don't have to look to see if it's large. I can easily, eliminate that one step to make my process a little faster.
Exactly.
So you're definitely doing the right thing. And again, there's so many ways to list on eBay. Now,
Yeah.
what about shipping? Do you happy birthday, Amanda? It's Amanda's birthday.
Who's Amanda?
Amanda is one of the eBay. She's part of the eBay team, the eBay team for Resale America.
Probably Diana.
Okay.
Huh?
It's probably Diana that sends this message.
Yeah. Oh no, that was probably D, because they're over there. Oh, maybe you're right. Anyways, so happy birthday, Amanda. I had no idea. What about you again?
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Elbow cough. So where was that? Oh, the inventory system There was a gentleman by the name of Dan, a new friend of Resale America. He stopped by and he no, it's Amanda. Yeah. He stopped by and he says that we're doing shipping wrong, and I wanted to get your opinion on this too.
Okay.
Should we offer free shipping or should we charge for shipping? What do you do?
I've started to gravitate from listings with free shipping over to charging for shipping, and there's a couple reasons behind that. Number one is that shipping is constantly changing and going up, and if you have a listing that you say created 6 months or more ago, you're probably utilizing the old shipping rates if you're building it into your price, and you're going to find that once you sell that item, you're going to make less than you thought you were because the shipping rates are now higher than when it was when you created the listing. The second reason I don't do free shipping anymore on most of my listings is that in a return scenario, and I have mine set to buyer pays returns. Of course, there is no free returns for or no returns for a seller. You have to accept returns if the buyer escalates it that far. But in a scenario where they return the item back to me, let's say it's a remorse return, I'm not giving a refund of the original cost of the shipping. If you have that built into your shipping or into your price, then eBay doesn't allow you to deduct that amount from what you paid from that amount because it's not defined in the listing. I have this $10 item, free shipping. The customer doesn't know how much of that you're utilizing towards shipping. So you can't deduct the shipping from that. Okay. But if I have $5.99 and $4 shipping or whatever it is, now I'm giving them a refund of $5.99. That makes sense.
It does make sense.
So, it really depends. There's a lot of people on the other side of that coin that'll say, look, I would rather get the extra sales because I offer free shipping. I just don't see that. I've had both. I've used both models and I sell just as much because they're doing a lot of buyers just doing a sort in price, low to high. And if you have your shipping built in versus at an add-on, they don't care. They're looking for the lowest price.
Yes,
A lot of
absolutely.
people. So that's kind of how I feel about that.
A lowest price overall. So you're absolutely right. And there is a button then that says, do you want to see the price or do you want to see the price with shipping? And yes, there is a counter argument that people will filter free shipping items, but I believe that that's rare. And here's why. Here's why. Let me back up just a little bit and say that Amazon does not offer free shipping because it's only available to those Prime members, and they pay each month for shipping. So it's just included in the cost. Now, when we offer when we set free shipping, we are not allowing, what am I trying to say? When we offer free shipping, it's not truly free shipping, and it's not fair to either us, and it's not fair to the buyer because for us not to disclose the shipping, because if the buyer is out in Honolulu, they're gonna be paying a little bit more than they would if they were, on the next state over.
Yes.
So it's best to display the shipping costs because it's not free, and to be upfront with the buyer.
Right. Exactly. And who is, you got to think of it in terms of you as a buyer, not as a seller. Sometimes when you're making your listings, you got to put your buyer hat on and think in terms, who's really going to search for an item that's free shipping versus the best price. That makes sense. Now, is that a buyer that's probably thinking about, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm probably looking for an option to ship it back? Well, I don't want that buyer. Honestly, if
Yeah.
you're already thinking about returning the item before you actually get it, and that's why you're looking for something with free shipping, then it's probably better off that you buy it from someone else.
Yes.
That's kind of how I feel, because of course I'm trying to keep my returns down, and we all know that a remorse return can easily become an item not as described or not described simply because they don't want to pay for a return label. And it gets the odds increase as the bigger and larger the item is, that the buyer will. I've had it many times where the buyer will try to make something up. You get it back and it works perfectly fine. Now you're off the hook. You're on the hook for a $10 to $20 plus label, and they do it because Amazon conditions our customers. They come over to eBay. Amazon allows people to do whatever they want, send back whatever they want, and then they come over to eBay and they think that these little tricks work with eBay, but it doesn't, because they're dealing with individual sellers and not just one large return center.
Yeah. So what I was going to say about that exactly about Amazon, that it's not free. And when we go to Terapeak, I challenge everyone to look at the category that they're selling in and look at what is expected by the buyer in regards to that specific category. In Terapeak, I noticed that 70% of buyers are paying for shipping. Only 30% is offering free shipping, and it's buying free shipping. So is it true that all buyers expect free shipping? No, it's not. I think it's false. I know that they want it. Of course, we all want something for free.
Right.
But if we look at Terapeak and we look at the numbers there, it shows that they're not 100% looking for free shipping. We have Tom Valenti. Thanks for joining us. If looking to blow out inventory, bin store owners selling higher value items on eBay, would you find it beneficial to do auction versus buy it now? Pros versus cons, shipping all one day, profit versus labor. What do you think, John?
Well, it depends on a number of factors. Number one is I always check the solds. So I want to see this particular item, what it has done in up the last 90 days when you look in the solds. And I want to see, did this item sell by buy it now? Did it sell by auction? Now, if I do see that it's sold by auction a number of times, I want to see the number of bids, the kind of activity. If I'm seeing an item that maybe sold because it had one bid, I'll be less likely to try to sell it as an auction because I don't see a lot of demand. But then again, if that item has, a handful or more bid activity on the end price, it'll show you how many bids the item had. Then I would be more willing to use the auction. Auctions are kind of dying out as far as I'm concerned. I do have a few up right now, and I usually do that for, let's say I have 5 or 6 of a certain item, and I'm sitting on that in one listing, and maybe I'm willing to blow out an item, at a lower price, because auctions will generally get you a lower price than what you would sell it for as a buy it now. I'm willing to move my item just to get it moving. I have a stagnant inventory, and there's some demand, then yes, I'll use auction. Otherwise, it's just buy it now for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's mostly buy it now. But Tom has certain items here that he prefers that we sell it on auction. And this comes for those that are looking at our eBay store, you'll see them shortly that they are going to go on auction, because I don't know either what they are or if it's just weird random parts that someone else might look at. And this is what Tom says.
Okay.
Somebody's going to look at this pile of rubbish. You think it's rubbish, but someone's going to look at this pile of the so-called rubbish and say, oh, that belongs to a Model T Ford, blah blah blah. I'm gonna get that. Or
Okay.
it belongs to a Harley Davidson part. I know exactly what that goes to. Let me buy that.
Okay.
So that's his approach in regards to like items like that.
But
Yeah, go
if
ahead.
it's an auction, I want that part for this automobile. Unless you have set it up for buy it now on the listing, it's like I can't buy it. I have to wait 3 more days before I can maybe win this when I need the part now.
Yeah,
And so if the item is like a one-off kind of item, you can list it, put it in your store, like set it and forget it. And that unique buyer will come across your listing at some point. I need that item. It'll be there for them to buy right away. Generally, I got to tell you, when it comes to auctions, it has to have demand. If it doesn't have demand, like say an Apple product,
yeah.
a major brand name product, if it doesn't have demand where it's selling buy it now like crazy, but people are trying to get a good deal on it and they're willing to wait on an auction. If it doesn't have that kind of demand, it's not worth, maybe 10 years ago, but it's not worth auctions. Auctions are sort of just dying out, I think.
You know what? See, that's why it's great to network with other people and just hear another opinion, because I completely changed my mind. I think that you 100%. I 100% agree with you, because when it comes to an auction, you want buyers to compete with one another, so that you want to make sure that this is got value. It's not such a unique item that it's going to be just waiting and sitting there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody pops up, says, "Oh, let me bid on it, $1," and there's no competition. If there's no competition, I'm just going to walk away with $1. No, might as well just put it on, buy it now, put that price a little higher, and just allow people to make offers.
Yeah.
And
I do the same thing with for parts or repair. If I come across something that isn't functional, maybe something's wrong with it. It's functional, but maybe there's a feature or two that doesn't work properly. I started putting banners on my listing, on my gallery photo. It says parts or repair only on the bottom, and that's working great, because it's causing, the thing is, if you have an item like that you put on auction, people are in such a hurry to bid that they don't try to read. We even know people that are buyers that go in and don't even read anyway when they have plenty of time. But add the fact that they're, now this auction is going to end in 2 minutes. They don't read your listing, and now they don't either pay after they read that it doesn't work, or there's something wrong with it, or something to that matter. And so they don't buy it because of that factor. So I make sure that when I'm doing an auction, it's for an item that isn't one of those kind of parts or repair type of items. I put those as buy it now only, because it's clear you're going to have buyers that are looking for that kind of item. I want to make sure that it's sort of a clean listing, so that there is no reason for them not to pay. And for me, someone sold something.
that was me.
Okay, so for me, that's why it's so few and far between on auctions, because I just rather just do a buy it now. I know that it's going to sell. I know I'm going to get my price. I'm not sure what price I'm going to get with an auction, and I got to wait 5 days. I might have listed this today and sold it tonight if I just did a buy it now.
I love this idea. I mean, again, when we network with people, look, you and I never met in person.
No,
but I would definitely consider you my friend.
Of course, yeah, we talk all the time.
Yeah, so I'm just amazed that I still learn new things and new ideas. And you just said something that I would totally like to implement in ours. And you create a banner on your gallery shot for parts and only.
Now, let me give you a disclaimer. That's not really allowed on eBay.
Really?
eBay doesn't want you doing that. But I see other people that sell in electronics and that type of thing that have been doing it. And you know what? Their listings are still there. I've been doing it for the last month. My listings are still there. And until eBay comes and tells me that, hey, you can't do this, I am trying to limit the amount of confusion that buyers already have when they're buying an item. So by putting that on there, and sometimes people aren't going to read your listing, but they'll see your photo and they'll see,
Yes.
I want one that works. I don't want this one. And maybe you got that one guy who fixes whatever it is I'm selling that's not quite right, and they're going to hone in on that photo because that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I watched your 4 parts video just yesterday, actually. Pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
So if I were to implement this, the 4 parts banner, I think my approach would be, because I have photographers in the studio.
Yeah.
I would just have a little post-it note on the side, and it'll be included. Like, if, let's say, I'm taking a photograph of a couple of things,
Right.
or an item, I'll have like a little post-it note saying 4 parts only.
Yes.
So this way it's there. I think that's how I would approach it. But that's a great idea.
Well, I just, it works. And, I have a thing on Canva. I don't know if any of you use Canva for your thumbnails and all that, but I just have a little template set up where that banner's there. I just add the photo to a clear white background and save it. Boom, it's done. And
Nice.
it doesn't add a lot of work. And to me, I'd rather spend a few more minutes on a photo than a few hours dealing with a customer who's now mad at me because, they didn't read.
All right, I got Dom still has another question, and I want to address this one. And this is something that
I got a question for you though, real quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
How many auctions? Let's say, what percentage of your listings are auctions versus, let's say, buy it now?
Well, right now, I do not have any auctions up, and based on our conversation, I will probably not have auctions. However, on my personal store, here's what I did. There were some. I just hate selling kids' clothing, so I put the kids' clothing on auction at one point, or anything that was like small or medium, like weird sizes. I would put them on auction, and to be honest, I would get one bid, and then sell them for $1, and it's like, man, that wasn't very smart.
Right, or no one bids on it. And you totally forget that you had the item up on auction, and it's sitting in your unsold part of eBay, and that item's like on a bin somewhere until you go back and, oh, I forgot I had listed this a month ago, and apparently no one bought it. And I had a bunch of purses, Coach and different brand purses, and I think I put them up for like $29.99 plus the cost of shipping. No one wanted them. I had like 5 or 6 purses in there. And I totally forgot that they were on that rack until the other day when I was in there. And I'm like, oh, so what do I do now? They didn't want it on auction. So I guess I'm willing to bet you I can go and take that lot that I put up a month ago, put it as a buy it now for the same starting price of my listing, my auction listing, and in a week it'll be gone.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the benefit.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So Dom says, what are your opinion on 1-day shipping versus let's say 3-day shipping? Sorry, handling is what I'm saying. Yeah. What do you do?
Well, I had it the same day. And so my viewers were like, what are you doing to yourself? Because I had it set up for same day. And I think the cutoff was 11 a.m. and my mail carrier was coming at noon. So it was perfect. And then I got a new mail carrier, and all of a sudden she wanted to come over to pick up the stuff an hour earlier. So I'm scrambling, and it's like, okay, this isn't quite working. So my viewers said, hey, just set it up as 1-day handling. But my thought was, well, I don't want to lose sales because I'm going to be lower in the algorithm, because buyers want that now. You got a lot of people who, it's just, again, it's that Amazon customer. I want that 1-day, 2-day turnaround where I buy it and it's here, right? And so I didn't want to be penalized by eBay by setting it for anything more than same day. So I tried it. I went 1-day handling, and I haven't noticed any decrease in sale. So for me, I do my shipping the night before. I get it done. Any residual shipping that occurs overnight, I'll handle in the morning. and I don't have to. But if someone bought something at 6 a.m., that's going out tomorrow. Technically, I don't have to rush to get all that done. And 3-day, I don't know about that. I have done 3-day handling instead of like vacation mode when I'm leaving for a couple days and I'm not going to be home to handle it. But you do definitely see a small decrease in sales. And I think it's partially because of the algorithm. I think also it's partially because your customer who sees that item and eBay gives an estimated delivery date based on your handling time and where you're at in the country, the type of shipping service you're providing. They'll provide an actual range or estimated date of delivery. Your buyer may not buy that from you if it's going to arrive later than they want. So for me, 1 day is the max.
So when it comes to algorithm, I don't think that it affects it. I do believe that what you said about the buyer looking at the listing and seeing that, oh, it's going to take me 3 days, then they'll pass. But if they really want the item, they're just going to go ahead and order it.
Right. Right.
But the reason why I say the eBay algorithm will not penalize me is because when you select more than 3 days, it says that it's excessive.
Yes.
But 3 days is okay in their eyes, according to that listing.
But we don't know though, really. I mean, they don't give us a manual. They don't give us a manual, instruction manual.
Well, you didn't get the instruction manual?
I didn't get one.
Oh man.
You're my channel manager. You need to start bringing me up to speed on these things. But no, honestly, eBay, and I think they do this. Of course, they do this for a reason. They are very ambiguous on what they expect from the seller to, hit all the, cross all your T's, dot all your I's as a seller. They sort of expect us to figure that out. I'm not, I wouldn't hold it past eBay to maybe reward people who do same day shipping versus 3-day. I happen to think that anything and everything that eBay asks you to do, it's embedded somewhere in that algorithm. So
you better offer free shipping.
Yeah, I think I am losing a few sales because I don't offer free shipping, but it's not as many as it would be for me to be worth my while to switch back over.
Well, the thing is, it really we have to sometimes just say, look, I'm going to cast a net, right? We're going to cast a net, but our net is not going to reach everybody, and that should be okay with us.
Right.
And so we have to pick and choose which is the best avenue to go. So back to the 1 day versus 3-day handling. I feel like our team cannot handle everyday shipping because nothing else will get done because they're still new at this. Yeah, it's been a few months, but and their shipping system is super tight. They're really good at it. But the rest of the day goes to waste because now they have to reset their mindset to do photography or to do inventory management or to do something else. So it's better for our team to take 1 day to focus on shipping and inventory management, and then another day to focus on photography throughout the day and rev up that engine and just hit the, just kill it when it comes to photography. And that's what I want to see from our team.
So speaking of that, so how many do you have on your team, and how many items do you think you ship per day?
We ship about, on average, about 80 items a week.
Okay.
So that would mean what? 20, 25 a weekday, right?
No, it'd be a little less than that. It would be about 15.
Okay. My math sucks.
Maybe 15 would be still in the 90s. So I think that's probably about right. It's probably about right. So you have a staff so you ship about 15 a day, 15 to 20 a day. And so they do photos, they do the shipping. Okay.
And inventory management.
Just trying to gauge it because I'm a one-man show. I've always been thinking about, what if I incorporated, somebody or a couple people to help me in my business and taking on that extra expense and what that would do. So yeah, it just gives me an idea if you're doing it already.
Yeah. We could talk some more about.
Yeah. I just, I honestly thought that you're the only guy doing it out there.
Thousands of items and another thousands more to
You're the guru. I thought you could do that in your sleep.
I hope Tom doesn't think that. The other reason why 3-day handling really helps us is situations like right now. I set up UPS shipping to pick up on Fridays and on Tuesdays, and they did not pick up. And so now we have to go out of our way to drop it off the following day. But adding that handling time allows us that, so this way we won't get dinged.
Yeah.
By eBay. So that gives me that time. The other reason is, let's say that we pulled something off the shelf and we realized that it broke while in our inventory.
Okay.
Then we can reach out to the customer and say, hey, look, this thing broke, or it's not in the condition that you purchased it for. Do you still want it, or would you like to cancel this order? It allows us that leeway. Right. Now, Tom's biggest thing was what you said. The customer wants it would be awesome for the customers to receive it the next day and say, wow, even though it was 3 days handling, I got it. I got it immediately.
Right.
But guys, if you look at our Resale America's eBay store, you're gonna see the feedback, and you're gonna see, oh wow, fast shipping, great shipping, because some people are receiving it right away. Some people are receiving it a little later, but it's very few. It's very few, but we're getting great feedback across the board. All right, I think
Resale America.
Let me post it down here. Go to Resale America Online, ResaleAmericaOnline.com.
Okay.
And then /online. Boom. I sent it to you guys. So you guys can go ahead and check our eBay store through our website, and you can just click on any item and it'll pop up. So I think, do you have any more thoughts in regards to handling time?
No, I think it's a good tool to use when you're, let's say, taking the weekend off, along with maybe, let's say I'm going to do a Friday through Monday off, where I'm going to be out of the office from Thursday to Tuesday, that type of thing, where you utilize the 3-day handling. And then if you have on your mobile phone, you can go in and do a bulk edit every day, make it 2, make it 1, or whatever you do. That's kind of what I do. It works out. I've never had to use vacation mode. Now, if I'm gone more than 5 or 6 days, my awesome wife will step in and help out. So otherwise, it works.
Yeah, we had a buddy of ours who's that lived in maybe a couple blocks away, and we asked him to do the shipping for us. And I remotely emailed him the PDF of all the shipping labels, and all he had to do is press print, and he knew what to do at that point. So and I gave him some money to do that for us. All right, so let's talk about first of all, Dom, you also said profit versus labor. I would like for you to elaborate on that question. I would love to answer that. If you can elaborate in the comments, feel free. But we have Steven Sanchez. He has a question. A comment. High ticket items sell decent on auction, but he also accepts offers. And that's what we just discussed. That's not a bad idea too, is to for those items that we put on auction, if we want to, we can also accept offers. Yeah, we pay a little, maybe a 10 cents more or something like that. But for some of those high ticket, why not? I'll pay 10 cents. Huh.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
take 10 cents. Why not? I'll
Right.
pay 10 cents for something that's going to sell really high. All right. The other thing was you mentioned about on your recent video, you mentioned refreshing inventory numbers, and the reason why we do that is let me explain to the audience what refreshing inventory numbers are. You can list and list and list. So let's say that you list something today. Tomorrow it's going to show up on page 2. 30 days from now is going to show up on page 30 because more people are listing. So your listing is going to be suppressed based on when you listed it.
Mm-hmm.
So what John had shown us on one of his videos was that we can refresh our listings by taking all of our listings, ending them, and then we could take those ended listings, sell similar, and relist them.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's going to happen? It puts it right on top again, and then it shows that it tells eBay that, hey, we got a new listing, and then it shows in the first page again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't do that for Resale America, but I do that for my personal store. I'm not saying this because my store is better than his. His store is way better than mine. But I don't do it for his store because of a lot of dropped listings that's happened in my store that I don't want to see on his store. And so, but I really do want to do something for that stale inventory that Tom has in his store. So what are your recommendations for that, and how would you handle stale or older inventory items?
Well, I'm looking at the store right now, and I would say, first of all, you want to do markdown sales. So you can go through and do a markdown sale just for slower moving inventory.
Wait a minute. Oh, it's not up. Oh my goodness. It's the end of the month.
Yeah. So markdown.
Hold on. I normally do that.
I swear to you by this. I talked about this in one of my videos. That public coupon, and you can go as small as 5%, and that's all I have is a 5% public coupon.
Mm-hmm.
And when you click on the listing on the very top left, I think it's even above your title, it says 5% discount on this item, or save 5% on this item, use discount code whatever. And I swear to you, that is, as soon as I implemented that in my listings, my sales shot up. And so I would think that if you were just to add that onto the majority of your listings, I would say all of them. I know what Tom gets most of this stuff by truckload, right?
Yeah.
His cost is much lower than my cost.
Yeah.
His cost of goods is probably somewhere about $1 to $2, if that, on most of these items. Of anyone that I know of that can actually really work out their prices and do all these different things to really move your stuff on here, it's Tom. I mean, as far as what he's into it for, the sourcing is how you win in this game. You could buy stuff like he can, and by the truckload, he's already winning. So you throw those coupons, the public coupons in here, and you're going to see a shot in your sales.
So when it comes to public coupons, those are the things that I'm still working on understanding a little bit more. So off the air, I would love to have a conversation with you about the public coupons.
Yes.
But and I'll share with you how I currently use them, but I know that there's better ways.
Okay.
But the markdown sales, it's what I do at the very beginning of each month. I do this all the time. And I just totally forgot that it's the first of the month, and I dropped the ball. So
Yeah, and
I hope Tom is not watching.
Yeah, I could tell you though, as compared to the coupon, it's good, but it's not as good. The coupon,
Really?
yeah. And I took your advice when I was on your live stream before. You know how I'll show you. How you have the I have these little
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
thank you. And it's and of course you can't really see it because it's small, but it says 10% off your next purchase. Here's the code and valid through 12/31/21. And I put my store.
Can you make your screen a little bigger so the audience can see the sticker?
So it's like that there. So yeah. So now here's the thing. You want to know how many people have utilized this code? I put it right on the package.
10%.
0.
Oh yeah.
I still have a roll of these. I stopped putting them on my packages a few weeks ago because what I sell, I'm not in a niche. So it led me to believe that coupons really are only good if you have niche and you have return buyers looking for X, Y, and Z. For me, I sell all kinds of, like Tom does, sells all kinds of stuff. Anything and everything that Amazon sells, it could be in your store. So for me, that return buyer is non-existent. And I don't know how many return buyers you have, but that public coupon that you put eBay puts right in your listing, maybe they're thinking about buying your item versus mine, but because mine has a coupon in it and it's like, oh, I can save 5%. And our prices are already similar, they're going to gravitate towards my listing. And I'm willing to bet, I'm looking at this store, I'm willing to bet if you threw a 5% coupon in there, launched it, you'd probably have to hire someone else to help you with your shipping. I'm serious. You have
I totally agree with you.
Large store here. Yeah, you would be killing it.
All right. I'll definitely implement it. I know that I started to use the coupons, but I don't think that I was using it the right way. So I'm definitely gonna lean on your advice.
And it'll take you 2 minutes to set it up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's Dom, he says, no, the other one. There you go. Profit versus labor. I was asking about the auction method, i.e., buy it now, shipping multiple days versus auctions, all expiring the same day. So only one day doing shipping. Auction equals less labor versus buy now equals more profits. Okay, let me jump in real quick, and then you can jump in, Tom. John, sorry.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right, Dom. So instead, what I do is when I do select auction, I select 5-day auction starting on Tuesday. So this way it ends on Sunday. Why Sunday? Because Sunday is the highest selling day for us. Mm-hmm. For every store, it might be a little different depending on the types of items you have. But if for the most part, most people are sitting at home on Sunday, when there's no football and just buying stuff. So that is what I do. So this way on Monday morning, there you go. I've got all my orders, doing them all at the same time. So Tuesday is when I start my auctions. So this way it can end on Sunday and I can ship on Monday. What are your thoughts, John?
Well, I do think you're right. I think in most items will sell more on Sunday. So you want to have your auctions, if you're doing auctions, have them set to end on Sunday. Mm-hmm. But as far as, the question, I don't see a difference between auctions and buy it nows when it comes to one being more labor intensive than the other. For me, it's I have an inventory system. I list it, put it up on auction, and if it sells, I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to go and pack it up and ship it out. But if that same item sold in the same rack as buy it now, I'm going to go and grab the item, pack it up, and ship it out. So there really isn't any more labor involved one over the other, I don't think.
Well, I think also what he's saying is very similar to my thought process in regards to 3-day handling. So this way we're only doing shipping on Mondays and Thursdays. So this way everyone's again, less labor because it's only being done on one part of the week.
Right.
I
So
think that's what he's
that's
referring
more handling time than actual format. See, format, like I'd say give you another downfall for auctions. Currently, there is no way to enforce your buyer to pay for your item right away.
to.
And in fact, your buyer may have been looking for that whatever, and you could anything that's auctionable. That one item they're looking for, and they may have dropped bids on 10 different items, and then they found that one item and they bought it, and they had forgotten they dropped a bid on your item, and they'll never come back and pay for it, that item that they just won from you a few days ago. For me, it's just a hassle. Then I got to wait 4 days. eBay doesn't allow me to cancel the listing due to buyer non-payment for 4 days. So now that's 4 days I have to wait. And then once that hits, then I have to go back, relist the item. And that in itself is more work to me, is having to deal with all that than just having it for sale and the buyer just pays for it now. I don't even have to have a conversation with that buyer. So that's why I think for me, I utilize auctions only when I have a large number of that item in inventory and it's sort of a slower moving item. I will then say, okay, I'll take a loss on this item just so I can move it. Get that. I think a lot of times we tend to become a storage unit. We put stuff in our store. We do. We put stuff in our store and it just sits there because we're waiting for our price. And I talk about this in my videos, we're looking for our price when the right price is the market price, and you are constantly, at least me, I was constantly overpricing my items and then wondering, well, why isn't it selling? I saw somebody sell it. One person sold this same item for this, and I'm trying to get the same thing. But if you dig deeper, that's an anomaly. Most people are selling that same item for $5, $10, $15 lower than what you have it listed for. And you want to find what is called the market price. Otherwise, you're just becoming a storage unit. And my goal is, you get a lot of these people, these channels on YouTube that they say, hey, you want to list 1,000 items a day, right? And then you have these stores that have all these items in it, but relatively no sales. I'm more focused on how much money can I make in a day rather than how many items can I list. If that makes sense.
One is a vanity metric and one is not. One is the goal.
Right.
I totally agree with you, John. I feel like again, the topic of conversation is that we can run our store in so many different ways.
Right.
In regards to paying immediately, did you see Casey the Rockstar Flippers video the other day in regards to the beta program?
I did see that, and so my question to that is, do you know if you're in beta? Does eBay send you a message saying, hey, we have you set up for X, Y, and Z? I haven't heard of anyone doing that.
Could you explain to the audience what we're referring to?
Well, there's been with eBay, there's been a big problem over the years, and one of the big points of contention that I've had and a number of people have had is, look, I have this $100 item that I have for sale. If someone goes on and buys it, they have to pay right now. If I go in there and put offers to watchers, or if I allow my buyers to send an offer, and they send me an offer for $80, and I say, you know what, I'm only into it for 20, I can do that. And then I go ahead and approve it. And now I'm waiting for that same buyer, up to 4 days for them to actually pay for it. They're getting a discount and they get to wait. It's like an eBay layaway program. Whereas this other buyer who's willing to pay full price has to pay for it right now. The logic just never made sense. Now, I understand why it wasn't there. It's because it's a change that eBay has to make. And by virtue of them having to develop a beta program, then launching it live, they have to have teams of programmers. It costs a ton of money to make a change that small to a website. Talking, just with labor and everything that goes into it, there's just a lot of money. And eBay has been in the business of only spending that money if it brings them back money. Okay. to make a seller experience better has never been on eBay's radar, unless they are benefiting in some way. This is one change that I don't see too much benefit eBay is getting. It is helping the seller, but they're rolling it out very slowly. And hopefully they're a little bit more transparent about this process. They let us know if if you're a seller that has, a certain store, are your items included in that? Or is it a beta just for certain buyers? And let's hope that whatever this is that they're doing doesn't break something else, because we've seen that over the last month as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not an eBay fan. Well, I am an eBay fan in the sense that it's my livelihood, but I'm not an eBay fanboy either.
Have you been looking at other platforms? Are you selling on different platforms?
I do sell a little bit on Mercari. We were selling on Poshmark, but of course, we did get out of a lot of our clothing. Really, no. I mean, Amazon, once in a while, you can list some items and various items in different conditions, and then you got to be gated in half the stuff you try to list anyway. So, wow. And then of course, we've gravitated away from the third-party off brands from China that the moment you try to list their item, you get like a bunch of these new items and you go and list it. They'll try to say you're counterfeit, so then it hurts your account. So yeah, it's really cutthroat on Amazon. So really, and this has been the argument that I've had with a lot of people. It's like people come onto my channel, they post a lot of comments, and they're like, I'm done selling on eBay. Well, that's great. If you can make that work for you and you don't need eBay, then awesome. But find me a site that's going to give you the same level of traffic and the same level of sales. Of course you have Amazon, but unless you're ungated in everything, you're not going to be able to list half your items. So find me a site like eBay that's going to give you that same level of traffic, and I will be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, you're 100%.
I don't normally give this out. It's Value Trends with a Z, one word, VALUETRENDZ is my store name. And, I have like a little over 500 items in my store. The idea for me isn't about, how many can I list? I know there's some channels out there that are just, you guys are not good humans if you don't list 20 to 50 a day or more. The idea of you listing X amount of items is on its face. It makes sense. Volume will increase your sales. It usually will. But you got to be, for me, I'm trying to bring my average cost of sale up. And in doing that, it's eliminating a lot of these smaller ticket items that maybe seem like easy lists, but I want to take that same time and put it in 30, 40, 50 plus dollar items. I no longer list anything that's under $20 in my store. Now I still have stuff in my store, but those are older listings that I'm trying to sell and move on from, and just, get those sales up. And it's working. That strategy is working for me.
Yeah. So this week, we're actually, as we speak, we have our VA listing any multi-quantity items on Resell America from the eBay store to Mercari as well.
Right.
So we're going to be looking for other platforms to sell multi-quantity items, and just deal with those, because I feel like when we don't focus on one channel, like you said, we're not becoming the expert. We're going to start to see some balls dropping, and so I've taken that off the plate of the eBay team, and I've just put it on the plate for our VAs, because it can be done remotely, since everything's already photographed, everything is already listed. All that she has to do is copy and paste. Right. The other thing when it comes to our VAs, when it comes to our Mercari, is that she's gonna manage the whole thing. She's gonna manage everything Mercari, and the only thing she's gonna do is, when she creates the pick list for our eBay team here, she's gonna include that Mercari listing there, and she's also gonna email the shipping label to the team along with that pick list. and then so it can be all done seamlessly all at the same time.
Right. And you know, it's that extra set of eyes you're putting on your item by having your item on different sites. I need to do better there. I've been focusing a lot of my energy on eBay, but certainly I'd say it's worth the cost of hiring a VA to every 6 months to a year or whatever to go in and move, in my opinion, lower priced items that you have on eBay over to Mercari. I think those tend to sell better. Your under $20 items sell better, in my opinion, than on Mercari than on eBay for whatever reason. Your higher ticket items don't sell as well on Mercari than they do on eBay. It's just what I found.
You're 100% right. That's the same feedback that I would give Tom if he were to ask me the same question. We're implementing a Mercari, and this is a new thing for us. I've done it for my personal store, and so that is the same thing that I saw within my store. I felt like more of the under $20 items were selling more. I really wish that there was. I think is it Mercari or is it Poshmark that pushes bundles and pushes lots?
That's Poshmark.
Poshmark. I wish that Mercari was a lot like that.
Yeah, they'll go in your store and they'll bundle things, but then they'll bundle things and they'll never buy it. It's just yeah, we've had that happen before. But yeah, in both cases, Poshmark, Mercari, well, Poshmark no returns unless there's something egregious, then they open a case with Poshmark. But with Mercari, you get a 3-day window, and once it is delivered, 3 days to make sure this is what you purchased, and then that's it. You get your money once you rate the buyer. eBay, in my opinion, it'll never happen, but in my opinion, eBay would do itself so many favors to the selling community if they just put together a system like that. But of course, they're the opposite. It used to be 14-day returns. Now it's 30 days, and they really encourage 60 days. But we're not big. A lot of us aren't big box retailers. We don't have, it just, a lot of us resellers sell maybe a handful of items a week. And the idea of, having that hanging over our heads for 30 plus days doesn't sit well with a lot of sellers.
Yeah, 30 days is what eBay's usually. That's our seller protection. If we have 30 days or more, is when we receive that seller protection. So that's what we do here.
Well, right. But eBay could easily say, it used to be 14 days, and it could be any amount of time that eBay specifies you're protected as a seller. The problem is they've been gravitating away from the seller experience, more so to catering to all buyers, good and bad, and to the point where it's making us have this kind of conversation. Where are there other sites to sell on? If eBay did it properly, there would be other than trying to get your item exposed to other eyes like Mercari and Poshmark, the focus would be never on what other market is there other than eBay. It would be the eBay's great. Other sites need to be like eBay. You don't hear that conversation. People saying how Mercari needs to be like eBay, Poshmark needs to be like eBay. And so for me, I'll continue talking about it on my channel, but eBay's got to do better. And I'm just waiting for the day. Maybe it'll never happen, but I'm waiting for the day when somebody runs eBay that is more seller focused. Yes, you have to have a focus on the buyer, but it can't be 80-20. It has to be, without sellers, you have no one to buy anything. I mean, you can have people log on your site all day long. If they can't find what they're looking for, they're going to go somewhere else. So you have to take care of both sides.
Absolutely. Well, John, I think an hour. If I keep chatting, I think your ears are going to start to bleed. So
I can do this all day long.
Me too. But I wanted to give a shout out to those people who and those stores that I serviced, and the reason why I understand that there's multiple ways to sell on eBay is because I thought there was only one way at first, but I wanted to shout out a few people here. One is Dan from Lakeland Resales. I want to shout out to Tito and Jason at Direct to You Deals, Terry at Suncoast Liquidators, Tom, of course, at Resale America, and Shanae of Closet of Class. When I created Death Pile Destroyers, the business, I had that mindset of, oh, okay, I know how to sell on eBay. Let me do that. But all these sellers that I helped, photographing and listing for them, utilizing our system, I realized that each store was very different.
Mhm.
And there's different ways to sell. So like Tito taught me a different way to inventory, and I implement that part ways for my store.
Right.
Shanae also has a different way. She's got a little boutique shop, very similar to a Plato's Closet. And then we have Dan at Lakeland Resales, who buys pallets here, and mostly Amazon pallets, but is also evolving into selling personalized items as well. So there's different ways to sell on eBay, and that's the reason why I wanted to have this conversation to let everyone know. And for our new friend Dan that came to the store, this is not a knock on you at all. This is just a conversation that I wanted to let everyone know that we can all sell in our own ways. And I'm still open to suggestions, just like I am with John here. And I want to be able to tweak little things within the different sections of my eBay store, depending on whether or not it fits for this particular store.
Right.
So shout out to everyone. John, do you want to shout out your YouTube channel and any other things?
Yeah, well, just want to say one thing, and I bring a lot of ideas to the videos in my channel. If you are a seller that is sort of stuck in your way of this is the way I do it, and there is nothing better, eventually you're going to miss out on a lot of sales. You have to be willing to try new things, like the whole thing we're talking about with the coupon. Try things that you may not have tried before. And keep tweaking. What if I do this versus what if I do that? And if you continually are trying to improve your processes or that type of thing, you're going to succeed rather than just falling into a rut where you're just doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something to change. So hopefully check out my channel, Flippin' Ain't Easy. We talk about things like that. We talk about my experiences. I run into a lot of stuff that I come across on a daily basis, but talking about eBay policy, things that affect sellers, and it's more of course, it's a seller focused channel. I'm trying to improve, and I'm trying to help you guys with my experience that I've gained over the last, I've been selling for 20 years almost on eBay, part-time, but going on 3 years here as a full-timer. So I have a lot of experience to pass on and share. And of course, the more people that tune in, I can learn from as well. So Flippin' Ain't Easy. We usually do maybe a live once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'm going to try to do those more, maybe even do one today. But also I put out 2 or 3 videos. I come across something I think is worth your time, then I'll put that out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. John's channels are very informative. I highly recommend that everyone signs up for his channel. Say hi over there to John. And there's one last question here I want to answer. This is from XY Abra. And I would like to let you know what song I listening to, okay? So I'm going to send it to you right now. All right, here we go. All right. I would like for XY Abra to listen to Sabrina Claudio's Orion's Belt. It's a really cool, sexy song. I highly recommend it. All right. For everyone that's joined us for our chat, thank you for joining us. I hope we can do this again. Tom will be here on Friday to let everyone know what he's been doing in New York City. And we're going to try to answer all the questions you sent us via email and on the comments. So Thanks for visiting Liquidation Motivation. Now, go out there and make some money.
See you later, everyone.
And today we bought a $50,000 Target Electronics load. Canon EOS Rebel T7. Look at this. GoPro 8, Galaxy S20, Beats Studio 3, Apple AirPods. Look at this. Uh-oh. Samsung Galaxy Buds. Apple Watch. Look at that one. Rose gold. Everybody wants rose gold. 6 terabyte. I think it's a Tab A. A Tab A. Power Beats Pro. 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 I don't even know.